I wrote JEE because I was interested in engineering, like actually interested in engineering. I used to work with those mechanics sets and other things.
I was always a kind of, person who always build, some stuff out of scrap. And when I got selected in IIT, I chose IIT Madras. And the C5 in the first year, it was magical. It was exactly the thing which I always wanted to do.
There are all kinds of students on campus. Some students are very excited by the kind of engineering that we teach in class, and they are very sort of attuned towards research and possibly even just working with large engineering companies. But there are other students who are maybe more active with their hands, looking at making things and so on. So I think what the institute is trying to do is cater to all kinds of students. So that is where C5 came up. Walk in with an idea, walk out with a product is the tagline of C5. It sort of transcends your departments and all of that.
The problem with this plane is whenever it will crash, it is going to be damaged.
It has crashed and the wing now goes like this. It can't fly now.
It was 1 month hard work and then there is a crash and you can't use it anyhow further. So the idea was to make a plane which is crash resistance.
To solve this problem, Rishabh and Chitransh came up with a magnet-based technology that is presently undergoing the patent process. This technology allows them to build a modular UAV that upon crash simply disintegrates into different components and avoids any major damage.
On the one hand, you had C5 that was doing all this cool stuff. On the other hand, you had this entrepreneurship cell, or the E-cell as we call it, which was doing a lot to evangelize entrepreneurship. But we still weren't seeing enough students really gravitating towards entrepreneurship. Many of these products essentially just sort of sit on the shelves once the students graduate. So what we thought we'd do is create this sort of pre-incubation program that sits in between both of these, where we take some of these creative ideas and actually have students run through a process where they start thinking about commercialization, writing business plans, providing them some guidance on how to look at markets and so on.
This was my MS research project here at IIT Madras, and after that we didn't stop with only the prototype in the lab. We thought of commercializing it. So Nirmaan helped us to validate our product in the market. In a sense, once the prototype is ready, we should know who are our customers, how much are they willing to pay.
This particular opportunity here, this gives us the boost to work hard for these 2 years and fight for the product.
When I talk to student groups, I say, there comes a December in your final year when you have to decide whether to go through placements or not. That's a watershed moment in everyone's life, By December of that final year, you need to know, I'm going to spend a couple of years deep diving into this idea. Or I'm saying, it's a great idea, it's a great product, not for me. Move on.
Some students figure out that it is not for them, but they at least go back with the understanding that what it takes to build a company, and it is not just an idea, but there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to do that will help you fly.
Over 50 student ideas have already passed through Nirmaan, and IIT Madras wants to take it to the next level.
There are a number of things we want to do with Nirmaan. So first of all, I think for each of the student teams, many of them require a little bit of funding to go from having just an idea in their heads to actually having a tangible product that people can see, touch, use, feel, and so on. We do have a little bit of space currently that we're working out, but that's sort of temporary, meets the needs today when we have a handful of entrepreneurs. But when we scale to what we hope will be about 50 different teams every year working on their ideas, we're looking at actually having larger space, conferencing facilities, meeting rooms, etc. So funding that comes from alumni will be used across Nirmaan for these kinds of purposes. There are also other things that we'd like to do to create a conducive environment for these guys to explore entrepreneurship. So for instance, we'd like to invite people to give talks. We'd like to conduct some kind of training orientation programs around entrepreneurship. It fits well into the current milieu of how we think about what IIT should be doing, which goes beyond just being a teaching institution, a high quality research institution, but also goes towards being an institution where we allow people the chance to develop products and technologies that can have immediate impact on society.